We all have those moments, don't we? You walk into a room, stop dead in your tracks, and realize you have absolutely no idea what you came in for. Or maybe you're telling a story, and that one specific word, the name of a restaurant or an old friend, is right on the tip of your tongue, but it just won't surface. If you are over the age of 50, moments like these can send a sudden cold spike of anxiety straight through your chest. You find yourself wondering, is this just a normal part of getting older? Or is it something much more serious? It is a terrifying thought. And if you have ever felt that fear, I want you to take a deep breath right now. Close your eyes for just a second. Breathe out and listen to me closely. You are not losing your mind. As a medical professional, I talk to people every single day who are carrying this exact same heavy, silent burden. They are terrified of losing their memories, their independence, and their connection to the people they love the most. But here is the critical truth that mainstream media often leaves out. Dementia is not a sudden cliff that you just fall off overnight. It is a slow, quiet process that drops very specific breadcrumbs long before it severely impacts your daily life. Today we are going to look past the obvious symptoms everyone talks about, like forgetting your grandchildren's names or getting lost in your own neighborhood. Instead, we are going to dive deep into the 3 silent, subtle warning signs of dementia that you absolutely should not ignore after the age of 50. But more importantly, we are not here to just talk about fear. We are here to talk about power, biology, and prevention. Because science has proven that your brain is incredibly resilient. If you catch these signs early, there are massive clinically proven steps you can take to protect your mind, strengthen your memory, and preserve your future. Let's look at the facts together. Sign number 1. The subtle shift in financial logic and daily navigation. When people think of memory loss, they think of forgotten names. But neuroscientists know that executive function, the brain's ability to plan, calculate, and organize complex tasks, is often the very first area to experience a quiet slowdown. Think about your daily routines. Have you noticed that managing your monthly budget, balancing a checkbook, or calculating a tip at a restaurant feels noticeably more exhausting than it used to? I'm not talking about making a simple math mistake. We all do that. I am talking about a newfound, deep sense of overwhelm when looking at numbers or bills that you used to handle completely on autopilot. This happens because the prefrontal cortex, the CEO penthouse of your brain, requires an immense amount of cellular energy to process abstract logic. When early neurodegeneration begins, these complex pathways are the first to experience a brownout. Another variation of this silent sign shows up when you are driving. Have you ever been driving down a highway or a route you have traveled hundreds of times, and for a split second everything looks completely unfamiliar? A wave of mild disorientation hits you, and you have to consciously think about which exit to take. Many adults dismiss this as being tired or distracted. But if this kind of spatial disorientation is happening frequently, your brain is trying to tell you that its spatial mapping system is struggling to sync up. If you have noticed this, please do not panic or shame yourself. It does not mean your journey is over. It means your brain is asking for help. One of the most effective science-backed ways to combat this specific cognitive decline is to deliberately challenge your spatial brain. Stop relying entirely on your phone's GPS for familiar routes. Force your brain to mentally map your drive. When you look at bills, don't rush through them while distracted. Give yourself a quiet, dedicated environment to work through them step by step. Think of it as lifting weights for your prefrontal cortex. Sign number 2. Social withdrawal and the conversation exhaustion fatigue. This is perhaps the most heartbreaking and misunderstood silent sign of all, because it is almost always misdiagnosed as simple depression, stress, or the natural social changes of retirement. Have you found yourself gradually pulling away from social gatherings, family dinners, or group hobbies that you used to genuinely love? When you are in a loud room with multiple people talking, do you find yourself staying quiet, smiling politely, but internally feeling completely overwhelmed, trying to follow the thread of the conversation? This isn't just you becoming an introvert in your 50s or 60s. Following a fast-paced, multi-person conversation is one of the heaviest computational loads you can ever put on your brain. Your mind has to filter out background noise, decode vocal tones, remember what was said 3 sentences ago, and simultaneously formulate a relevant response. When the early stages of dementia begin to slowly degrade communication pathways, doing all of this at once feels like running a marathon in sand. It is exhausting. And because human beings naturally avoid things that cause them mental strain or embarrassment, the subconscious mind reacts by pulling back. You might find yourself making excuses to stay home, avoiding phone calls, or letting your partner do all the talking. This isolation is a quiet trap. When you withdraw socially, you starve your brain of the exact sensory stimulation it needs to stay sharp. Isolation actually accelerates cognitive decline. If you feel this fatigue, the solution is not to lock yourself away. The solution is to change the environment. Seek out smaller, one-on-one interactions in quiet settings. Tell your loved ones, "Hey, when everyone speaks at once, it's hard for me to keep up. Let's talk one-on-one." True friends and family will gladly adapt. Keep your brain connected because relationships are literally medicine for your nervous system. Sign number 3. The misplacing in strange places and object confusion. Let's be completely honest with each other. Everyone loses their car keys. Everyone misplaces their reading glasses. If you leave your keys on the kitchen counter instead of the hook by the door, that is completely normal human distraction. Your brain was simply thinking about something else when you dropped them. But the silent warning sign we're looking for is fundamentally different. It is not just misplacing an object. It is putting an object in a location that defies all logical sense and having absolutely no memory of how it got there. For example, finding your car keys inside the refrigerator, finding your wristwatch inside the sugar jar, or putting your TV remote in the bathroom cabinet. When this happens, it indicates a temporary breakdown in the brain's temporal lobe and hippocampus, the regions responsible for creating contextual memories. Your brain didn't just forget where you put the item, it completely failed to register the physical reality of the action while you were doing it. Furthermore, you might find yourself holding a familiar object, like a vegetable peeler or a specific tool, and staring at it for a few seconds, struggling to remember exactly how to use it. If you have discovered your belongings in bizarre places, I know the terrifying sinking feeling that follows it. You stand there looking at that object in the fridge and your heart races. But listen to me, discovering this is a gift of awareness. It is an early alert system. It is your brain waving a yellow flag saying, "Hey, I'm under stress down here, let's change something." It is not a diagnosis, it is an opportunity to intervene before things progress. Your proactive brain action plan. So what do we do with this information? If you or a spouse recognize these signs, you do not sit in silence and let fear consume you. You take action. First, schedule a dedicated visit with a modern physician or neurologist. Medical science has advanced beautifully over the last few years. We now have highly precise biomarker blood tests and advanced imaging that can look at brain health with incredible accuracy. Second, evaluate your metabolic health. Your brain is a metabolic organ. Simple lifestyle shifts, like securing 7 to 8 hours of deep, uninterrupted sleep to allow your brain's glymphatic system to wash away cellular waste, or reducing processed sugars that cause neural inflammation can radically alter your cognitive trajectory. Third, fuel your brain with targeted neuronutrition. Healthy fats, omega-3 fatty acids, and vibrant antioxidant-rich whole foods act as literal structural armor for your brain cells. Aging is a natural, beautiful journey, but living in constant fear of your own mind is not something you have to accept. Your memories, your laughter, your wisdom, and your unique story are worth fighting for. Pay attention to the silent signs. Look after your amazing brain with love and respect, and remember that you are never walking this path alone. If this video brought you comfort or clarity today, please share it with someone you love. Subscribe to the channel for more science-backed, compassionate insights into your health. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.